all be seated. You're good. You're good. Yeah. All right. Well, good evening, and welcome to the White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2024. My name is Dr. Fraser Horn, and I have the honor of being the Dean for Pacific University College of Optometry. In addition, I have the fun task of being the MC for today's ceremony. It is truly a pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy that you are all here to join us. I agree. This is truly a special day where we get to celebrate these students' entrance into patient care. This is also the halfway point in their optometric education, and it's truly an exciting ceremony, so we're happy to have everyone here in person and those of you who are online. Before we begin, I want to thank the amazing staff that helped put on today's ceremony, so Emily Engelman, Lena Armstrong, Mickey Buckingham, Dale McGale, Alex Steele, Melanie Tan, and the rest of the staff who are helping out on this. So thank you. I also want to recognize our community, professional, and industry partners who are supporting today, and also some who are here in attendance. I'd like to recognize Cooper Vision and Luxottica for their support, as well as Dr. Nathan Rowland, who's the president of the Oregon Optometric Physicians Association. Thank you. Are there any alums in the house? Yeah, okay, thank you for saying so. That was good. Thank you for returning. It's great to see you here. Not that I can see you too well, but just want to say thank you. So in addition, the students would not be here without their support system. Whether you are here in person or online, we know that the students are here due to the love and support of their partners, children, parents, family, friends, staff, faculty, patients, and even pets. So thank you so much for all of your support. Yeah. This is great. We're going to clap a lot. We don't even need the applause sign. I appreciate that. So today you're going to hear from our esteemed colleagues, our state association, your class president, and also receive a new coat that tells everyone who sees it that you have entered a new level of responsibility due to your dedication. So you're going to get a bit of advice tonight, so I figured I would start it off. I was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about who you surround yourself with and how they can be your allies or thieves. Allies are not afraid to give you objective feedback, but they're also there to support you and make you better. Thieves may create drama and don't necessarily build you up. They don't make you worse, but they don't make you better. I can honestly say that your class has been a group of allies. You have helped each other get through some tough times. In addition, I've had the opportunity to work with so many of you that I consider allies. To name a few, it's working alongside Shannon, advocating for your class, Ian engaging in our governance while on the faculty development committee, Jojo throwing out a chi-hoo, Courtney discussing sports vision, Cole and Kiana joking around while they're in our office, and having conversations with AC that shows a passion and thirst for knowledge. Each of you in the class are truly allies. You, along with the staff and faculty that are here, make each other better. So keep those allies with you, as you will need them to support you in tough times and to keep you down to earth. So speaking of allies, you're now going to hear from someone who was my faculty mentor when I started in academia. He is a talented optometrist who is passionate about ocular disease and so much in optometry. He approaches his patients and students in a similar manner, full of love and with a smile. He has helped our program through the pandemic, along with all of the leaders on our contingency task force. Outside of optometry, he has a passion for music, movies, accents, food, and certain beverages. His wife is, yeah, well, you can figure that one out later. His wife is the love of his life, who makes him better, and we are happy for all of her support as well. So without further ado, I'd like to invite someone who I consider a wonderful ally. Please welcome my colleague and friend, Dr. Lauren Yudkovich.
Thank you, Dean Horn. I'm going to attempt to do this without glasses. We'll see how this works. Multifocal contacts, by the way. Available here at Pacific University. Well, welcome, class of 2024, friends and family, to a very special occasion today. An occasion that has not been done live in person for 3 years until today. To the soon-to-be Optometric interns sitting here and being recognized, well done. I've had the great honor of serving as one of your professors since your first year of optometry school, and I've been impressed by the enthusiasm, dedication, and positive attitude you've showed since that first year. And I, as your professors, friends, and family here today, and here in spirit, are very proud of you. Well, you've given me the great honor of being able to speak with you on this important milestone in your optometric career today, the white coat ceremony. The white coat is an important symbol of your role as a healthcare provider, a healer. Now, think of that for a moment. As you wear the symbol of healing, you are transformed, not merely in appearance, but in how you decide to do the very best you can do for your patients, your community, and your profession. It's amazing to think that less than 2 years ago, you began your optometric studies here at Pacific University, wide-eyed, excited, perhaps a little nervous, yet eager to learn everything you could about the eyes and the visual system. And now, here you are, on the threshold of finally applying everything that you've learned. And as I look at you now, I just want to say with the bottom of my heart, it's frightening. And when I say frightening, I say it in the most positive way possible. I am in awe of the information that you've learned to this point. It is scary. You've learned more about vision in the eyes within these last 2 years than more than 99.99% of the world's population. That's not something to take lightly. Your knowledge is powerful. Apply this new power you carry to the greatest benefit of your patients. Your knowledge can recognize when a child's learning difficulties are related to their eye focusing and teaming problems, and then help them towards seeing and learning better. Your knowledge can help you decide on which eye drop medication would best save someone's grandparent from going blind. Your knowledge can identify retinal signs of diabetes in a person who didn't know they had diabetes, preventing a potentially early death. So yes, it is scary in a very good way. Respect the financial investment, hard work, and dedication you have committed up to this point in your career, and never take the important services that you render for granted. Be confident in yourself and the knowledge you have gained, and you will succeed. Connected with this gained knowledge is our responsibility of self-motivation in studying and reviewing information for the betterment of our patients and ourselves. As the saying goes, it ain't rare if it's in your chair. And nothing beats learning from a practical experience. Will you make mistakes? Certainly. Do those mistakes teach you? Absolutely. Knowledge also means you have the confidence in not knowing everything, and that you are as honest and forthright with your patients about this as to those whom you will have no problems in what the diagnosis and treatment is. Honesty and accountability are key components of being not just a responsible clinician, but a responsible person. Along with the knowledge, you have gained these skills to provide safe and effective care to your patients. Starting Monday, believe it or not, your name will be called to greet and examine patients. You are now truly in the trust of the public, and the safety and care of the public is your responsibility. As Hippocratic oath recited in medical states, prima non nocere, above all, do no harm. And so this applies to us. In all situations, patient comfort, both physically and mentally, is our examination responsibility. Our skills also reflect on how we participate in the profession. It's really pleasing to know how many of you play an active role in organized optometry from the classroom to the international level. I'm also pleased with those of you who have contributed your skills for even a small amount in the limited time that you may have. These things are important. As you wear the white coat, that symbol of healing, think about what qualities you want to bring to this great profession. Regardless of what mode of practice you pursue and professional activities you engage in, what matters is the earnestness of your character, and that earnestness is reflected in what positive aspects and abilities you can bring to your chosen field. Your skills here are very important to that end. The symbol of the white coat really serves as showing that you are seen as a pillar of the community. With all of the education that you've gained power. But remember what a wise person once said? With great power comes great responsibility. I know that each of you will show a high amount of responsibility. And myself, along with the faculty, administrators, and staff in our college, are looking forward to working with you in the most responsible manner possible. Which brings me to the final element you need to remember, compassion. In your new clinical role, compassion for our patient is top priority. Yes, there'll be some patients who test your patients, difficult toddlers in the chair, someone with a complex disease, frustrating spectacle and contact lens problems, or those with just plain difficult personalities. But we must all treat them all with the greatest courtesy and professionalism we can. This also applies to other people we interact with, friends and relatives of our patients, other professionals you communicate with, your fellow classmates, the staff and doctors, all with varied ideas, opinions, and approaches to patient care. Mutual respect comes from keeping an open mind with whom you will interact with and learn so much from. I believe that everyone is a book that is never fully read, and so many people carry a heavy burden within the pages of their book, even by many of us here today, particularly during these last 2 years. Understand that your patient's health-related, financial, and domestic situation may be bringing them down. Strive towards bringing people up in your care of them. We should connect with our patients, work towards making our patient feel better after they leave our care. Sometimes you'll have to give bad news to someone. They have glaucoma, macular degeneration, or some other incurable or serious disease. But give them this information in a sincere way that respects them as a whole person. You have been the educated ones for the last 2 years. Now you will be the educator to your patients. So I've come to learn that communication and patient education go a long way in having people trust and respect you as a compassionate healthcare provider. You are a special class. You are the first class to enter our optometry program under fully pandemic conditions. And from the very first day of your school, with still very little known about the novel coronavirus, with no vaccines yet available, and with outbreaks that increased into the fall, along with all the other societal and personal mires we contended with on a daily basis, you showed an overall positivity and adaptability that was amazing. The collaboration and communication between each of you, seen in class, labs, and clubs, shows how much you care for others. Your altruism is evidenced from those of you that have helped one another in studying and practicing, volunteered for community charities, and even donating your own blood and plasma. One example that demonstrated this came up just a few weeks ago. I had just had a vaccine shot, not a COVID shot, another vaccine, and I was feeling somewhat dizzy the next day in class. I offhandedly mentioned this to your class for someone to catch me if I fell during my lecture to you. After a break between lectures, upon returning to the podium for my next hour of lecture to you, one of you left a large container of iced water for me on the podium. Beside this water, another of you left a large cookie for me. Delicious, by the way. And right at the podium, one of you left a nice padded stool for me to sit on. I didn't ask for these things. You just did it of your own accord. These unasked gestures were testament of the future kindness and care that you're going to give for your patients. And to those students who did those things for me that day, it's not going to make me raise your ocular disease course grade, sorry. Nice try. I'd like to finish today by thanking the many friends and family who are here both today and in spirit to celebrate and support your loved one's noble endeavor in this wonderful profession of optometry. While patients may come first on a professional level, family and loved ones always come first on a personal level. Your love and commitment to that optometry student, soon to be optometry intern, as of today, means so much and will be reflected in the love and commitment that they bring back to you, as well as the quality of care they give to their patients. We here at the College of Optometry greatly appreciate your support for our students. So, to the class of 2024, the power is now yours. You are truly deserving of this moment. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
All right, thank you, Dr. Yakovich. So it is now the time that you have been waiting for. We have the opportunity to present the coats to the class of 2024. And in order to do this, we have a great group up here. We have Dr. Hefner, the Interim Associate Dean of Clinical Programs, excuse me, Dr. Beth Kinoshita, Associate Dean of Academic Programs, and Dr. Scott Clemens, our Portland Clinic Director. So we'll have them get to their stations. like we have stations, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. And then we will ask the first row to please stand.
Ryan Anderson. Marco Arandia. Mary Avasado. Jordan Beckstead. Giuseppe Borelli. Jasmeet Brar. Alex Brown. Therese Bowie. Ian Cairns. Jojo Kalma. Nathan Kasmerson. Shannon Chan. Courtney Ching. Jessica Couch. Ali De La Cruz. Luai Dia. Jessica Din. Brianna Doyle. Courtney Eaton. Josh Flegel. Amber Carissa Flynn. Isaiah Fusen. Kaylee Garman. Jenny Juran. Jonathan Glennie. Alexia Going. Chandler Granger. Risa Hedges. Micah Hayline. Julia Hawley. Kaylee Holzman. Vanessa Hua. Kaeya Iwasaki. Mark Kasler. Emily Keister. Cameron Kemper. Carly Kramer. Brianne Kusaka. Vanita Ladd. Jennifer Lai. Kiana Lambert. Olivia Lamy. Jack Lemoyne. Tina Lee. Yanda Lee. Melissa Lowe. Christine Lee. Brandon Malmstat. Tanvi Manick. Cole McDougall. Ryan McAvoy. Farah Meckery. Laura Moyer. Kimberly Munson. Angela Nasiri. Paige Needham. Emily Wynn. James Wynn. Avneet Parmar. Serena Patel. Nathan Patterson. Ida Porkar. Priya Purwal. Rylan Quinton. Hifsa Rai. Vanessa Ramirez Marine. Victoria Rotler. Aldrin Santamaria. Anastasia Schkau. Misael Cerna. Walker Schaefer. Wyatt Smith. Alexis Snodgrass. Victoria Spence. Valiamai Subramanian. Thomas Sundet. Hannah Taylor. Emily Tetzloff. Nancy Trong. Catherine Trey. And Karen Watson.
All right, let's hear it for the class of 2024. So with the responsibility associated with the white coat, we have the duty of saying the optometric oath together. So I'm going to have the class of 2024 please stand. And then in front of your family and friends, you get to recite the oath with me. So please join me. With full deliberation, I freely and solemnly pledge that I will practice the art and science of optometry faithfully and conscientiously and to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession in the honor of the degree Doctor of Optometry. I will provide professional care for those who seek my services with concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain and strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and inviolable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills so that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow optometrists and other professionals for the benefit of patients and the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen as well as an optometrist. I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this, my solemn oath and obligation. Nicely done. Way to go. Nice. All right. So I'll give you the choice. You can stay standing or you can sit down. Yeah, I would sit down too. Okay. I was totally joking about that too. I will tell you though, some of you may know we had a white coat ceremony this morning with the class of 2023. Those of you from the class of 2023, you did really well, but you did amazing. So nice job. That was impressive. Yeah, seriously. So some of you may not realize that the profession of optometry is a legislated profession. This means that in order for us to change what we can do within a given state or province, we must go to our legislators in order to educate and help our elected officials understand what we do or what we want to do for the betterment of the citizens in our state and or province. In addition to legislation, our state and provincial associations provide support in various ways, whether that is education, collaboration, and for me, most importantly, developing a sense of community. We have an amazing state association in Oregon called the Oregon Optometric Physician Association. Our partnership has provided so many opportunities, and we look forward to further collaborations. One of the collaborations is an annual scholarship. For our ceremony today, we have the president of UPA here, Dr. Nathan Rowland. So please join me in welcoming him to the podium. All right. Good to see you.
Well, you put me in one of these, and you really have no idea what you're in for. But we'll keep it good. I won't break out into a concert. I won't drop a few hot lyrics for you. Won't ask you if you heard my mixtape. Not right now, later. But what I do want is to ask you all to stand up. And I'm going to ask you wonderful people to make some noise because we're going live. Everybody out there. Oopa is in the house. And with that being said, I'd like to say thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I'd like to represent not just myself, but all of my colleagues, faculty members, the staff who put this event on, the families who make it all go, who are here to support their future doctors. And I come bearing greetings from the 800 members of the Oregon Optometric Physicians Association, which I have the honor of serving as president for. I also would like to say that Pacific is a wonderful place in my mind because I used to be a CI here. For the people who would be starting their next rotations, first rotations, in May. But you lucked out. I did not go to Pacific University. I went to this little tiny school in a very horrible place called Fort Lauderdale. The locals, we tend to call it Fort Lickerdale, I'm just saying. And as it happens, I was part of the 12th graduating class, which means that we don't have the legacy and the long-standing tradition of excellence that Pacific University is known for. And I want you to marinate on that concept. You just received your white coats, and I'm not going to get into what that means to you because you don't know yet. You have no idea. You won't know until you're in your PEDS rotation and you get that lovely aroma of what is now on your shoulder. You won't know until somebody gets so nervous that you're going to put eye drops in their eyes, that they have what we like to call a bodily malfunction. Or perhaps they're so excited that you said you're done, and it's only been 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 hours, that they stand up only to find out that their body said no, and they go right back down. And in those moments, you figure out what that white coat is truly all about. Your faculty can tell you I'm not making these things up. You will encounter these. And you'll be a stronger person once it's all over, and you've had the opportunity to share this story with all the people you've ever known in your life, because that makes it real. And at least, you can't do it on the gram because that little bothersome thing called HIPAA. What I would like to tell you is that the white coats, they're symbolic. This whole event is symbolic, and that's why I'm here. The symbolism that we find when we put on that white coat is very familiar to anybody who's been involved in anything that requires you to identify yourself. Police officers, they put on a badge. Doesn't matter what their other clothes may be, the badge is the thing that everybody recognizes. Military officers engaged in combat don't go out in pajamas. Football players, they go out to represent supposedly their city, even though none of them live there. We're telling the truth today. But they have a uniform, and outside of that uniform, nobody recognizes them for what they do. They might recognize them for who they are, but what they do, they don't recognize that. Our beloved Blazers, and for those few haters out there, too bad, same thing. When you actually see one of them in your chair, they're going to be whoever they are outside of their professional lives. But once they're in uniform, it's a different story. So your story, you've just received these coats. It's not about armoring yourself. It's about identifying yourself and your intentions. There's no protection that comes with this coat. I wish I could tell you it was magical and that all of the disease would either come your way if you're an OD person, or it would steer clear if you're not. But it doesn't work like that. What does happen is that when you come into that exam room, or when you go gather your patient, they know your intention is pure. They know your intention is to help. Never lose sight of that. That's what the white coat is all about. And those 800 doctors who wanted me to come here to say this to you would also like to say welcome. We would like to say now it's real. So enjoy the moment for what it is. It's a celebration. UPA is part of the American Optometric Association. It is our affiliate in Oregon. We advocate for children. We advocate for doctors. We advocate for those service members who have families stationed in Oregon, whose residence is in Oregon. We advocate on behalf of Pacific University and its students in the College of Optometry. We advocate for every doctor in the state, whether or not they're a member, whether they practice in Burns, whether they practice in Astoria, whether they practice in Hood River, whether they practice in Portland, or whether they practice like me in this little hamlet known as Sherwood. We're here for everybody. And so it gives us great pride, and it is a great honor to actually also have established a formal tie with Pacific University. As part of the Lead On campaign, where we were trying to bolster Pacific, UPA sat back and said, you know, we have a lot of esteemed alumni of Pacific University College of Optometry. And even though those individual alumni, as a group, often give back, is there anything that every doctor would like to do to assure that optometry remains viable, not only in Oregon, but in the Northwest? And we said yes. We established a scholarship fund. The scholarship fund has a nice attachment. We would love for anybody who receives this award that I'm about to announce to reside in Oregon, to be a member as a student of UPA, and to have intentions to practice in Oregon once they complete the program. And this year, we have found such a student. Now, I want you to think about that. This is a group of doctors that are already practicing, but we didn't give it to somebody who's going to graduate in a few weeks. We decided to give this scholarship to somebody who's just beginning their life in practice, a second year transitioning to the third. We didn't want to wait until the end. We want to support them from the beginning. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our winner. I can tell you with all certainty, they are on the stage. I can tell you that they've wanted to be an eye doctor for quite some time, maybe since childhood, which is amazing because I didn't figure out I wanted to be an eye doctor until I was in college. They may have been born in Oregon. I can narrow it down because I love to give hints, possibly in Portlandia. They may have majored in some sort of science. Not helping you out at all, am I? They might have been part of a group of people who decided they wanted to be an eye doctor while they were getting their undergraduate degrees. I'm going through this just because there are a lot of people up here who have similar backgrounds, and I don't want to just give it away. However, this person is rather extraordinary. They were selected by a group of esteemed faculty as someone who would represent this award and who UPA would be proud to see receive it. So I'm going to ask anybody who's ever been affiliated with Amigos to stand up. Anyone? I am going to ask anyone who's been affiliated with our honor society, known as Beta Sigma Kappa, to please stand. Yeah, I'm winnowing the field. I'm going to ask anybody who is affiliated with the Ocular Disease Club to stand. I'm going to ask anybody who is affiliated with the Cornea and Contact Lens Society or Department to stand. Yeah, I'll have you all standing pretty soon. And lastly, I'm going to ask anyone affiliated with the Ocular Wellness and Nutrition Society to stand. This is great. You see all the things that they're in already? Now I'm going to ask you to be seated. Okay, so now it's time. I know you're all ready. I want to talk about a first-generation Vietnamese American student. Her name is Vanessa. A lot of times we talk about people, but I don't ever want to talk about anybody behind their back. So I needed you to stand up and receive your accolades, your praise, right here, right now, from the horse's mouth. Vanessa drew inspiration from her parents. They came to America with a dream and not much else, and they succeeded. And this is proof of that success. To have their daughter on this stage being awarded for her accomplishments is something that I know they would be overjoyed about. She's earned a Merit Award scholarship. She's part of the class of 2024, but she is also now the recipient of the UPA scholarship. And we want to say thank you. Right? Got to do the. And not only do you get this lovely certificate, but we also have a couple gift certificates to the Olive Garden. Just kidding. That is for you.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you on behalf of all the doctors involved with UPA, all your faculty, and all of your loved ones. You're going to make us proud. I talk a lot, but I do get to the point. Thank you so much for allowing me to take your time this evening. When you come back, we'll have a 2-drink minimum, and then we'll really get into it.
Thank you, Dr. Rowland. That was great. We were up here wondering if we should stand when you were talking to all the clubs, and we didn't want to block the view, so that was why we weren't standing. So Dr. Yatkovich wanted me to be very clear of that. So you can see that as much as it's a formal occasion, it's not super formal, right? And that's because we're amongst friends and family, right? I grew up in a Scottish family, and ideally throughout all this, I would have a drink here of Sprite and be toasting each of you, but we'll do that outside when we're all done. But before we do that, we have one more important, actually we have 2 more important speakers, but we have one more faculty member that wants to talk with you, and he has a passion for clinical education. He is an alumnus of Pacific University, and he credits his success on the support of his family, his love for running, and his newfound passion for the Portland Timbers. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Bill Hefner.
That was a lie. Sorry, boss, I can't do it. My Ad Astra class. Yeah. What a day. I want to welcome all of you to third year clinic. Today marks that official transition from your purely didactic learning to the clinical application of that knowledge. It's going to be overwhelming at first, almost like speaking a foreign language. It'll be challenging for certain. You'll come home exhausted because you've had to process and reconcile so many variables that your brain actually hurts. You'll doubt yourself more often than not, and you'll continuously run behind schedule. But you'll also experience your first 20/20 refraction. You'll prescribe your first bifocal. You'll see your first cataract. You'll first work with your first TBI patient. You'll make a difference in somebody else's life for the first time in your professional life. On behalf of the more than 45 attending physicians and the 30 clinical support staff, I want to welcome you to clinic. Thank you.
That's nice. So finally, you have the opportunity to hear from your classmate. Shannon Chan has been awesome as the president of the class of 2024. Whether it was facilitating town halls, communicating concerns with administration, or just telling us what is going on with the class, she has done an amazing job. And I know that she will continue to do that amazing job when she's in clinic. And so without further ado, we'd like to welcome Shannon Chan up to the podium.
Thank you. Okay. Well, first of all, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to today's ceremony. My name is Shannon, the class of 2024 class president, and on behalf of our class, I would like to thank all of you for coming today for this momentous and special occasion. Without all your endless and countless support, achieving our journey to becoming optometrists would be nearly impossible. Today, I would like to speak upon a word that I believe best describes and resonates with our optometry class. Camaraderie, camaraderie, camaraderie. Oxford Dictionary describes camaraderie as a mutual trust and friendship among people who spend a lot of time together, while Merriam-Webster Dictionary describes camaraderie as a spirit of good fellowship. Judging by how often I see my classmates every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., even on the weekends this past semester, I would say we have solidly met this requirement. In all seriousness, though, the class of 2024 embodies camaraderie. As an optometry class, we have overcome so many adversities in the last couple of years. From the day we applied and started our optometric journey together, our entire world was changed due to the tragedy of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of us never even got the chance to interview in person, and were some of the first optometry applicants to never not see Pacific University prior to starting here in the fall. From that point moving forward, our class of 2024 has faced countless other obstacles that the COVID-19 pandemic has challenged us with. Our class was the only class to never have an in-person convocation or traditional orientation. We are the only optometry class to ever start virtually. Because of the pandemic, we were in small cohorts of 8 to 10 students, and so many of us did not meet our whole class for a whole year. This might not seem like a big deal, but at optometry school, it is normal to spend countless hours, days, and even weekends practicing and studying together. Just imagine learning and practicing invasive eye procedures for the first time upon meeting just a few moments earlier. Many were worried that our class would not have the cohesiveness that other optometry classes had before us. The first day that our entire class met each other was on August 30th, 2021, a year after starting our optometric journey together. I firmly believe that our class has one of the most camaraderie of all optometric classes before us. Despite having lost a year of not meeting one another, our class has been unified in countless ways beyond school, whether that may be through the making and sending of some spicy memes in our class chat, intramural sports teams, class events, and hangouts. Even though some of us might be closer to others, our class has such strong camaraderie that when someone asks us for help on our group meet class chat, everyone, if not like many people, try their best to help, even if this is not a school-related task. I'm also proud to say that our class of 2024 is the first class to never go into lottery for track lottery, for third-year rotation clinic. Additionally, as the class of 2024, during our first year of school, we had to endure many weather hazards that forced us to shut down for a couple days each time, such as the summer forest fires that blazed through Oregon, the blizzards that raged on in the winter, and the windstorm that took down a few trees and a few cars along the way. Due to these adversities we faced together, I know for a fact that our class is like no other, as we have faced more challenges than any other optometry class that came before us within the first 2 years of optometry school. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I have absolutely no doubts that our Pacific University class of 2024 will have a lifetime full of camaraderie so that we will never truly be alone in our optometric journeys. Once again, thank you all for coming and your continued support of our class. Enjoy the rest of your evenings and festivities, and please have a safe travel back. Thank you.
That was awesome. So before we finally conclude this, I've got a little bit of housekeeping we have to do. So the traditional thing within the white coat is kind of an organized chaos up front, which is like a really bad icebreaker. So we're gonna have you all move, because it's probably pouring outside, and we don't wanna do photos outside. So we wanna get photos of you all in your white coats while they're still white. And so we're gonna have you move chairs to the sides. I will recommend probably maybe keep the second row and then one of the middle back rows, just because what we're gonna do is put all the chairs to the side, and then we're gonna get a photo of all of you together. Now the challenge is, you gotta do this together, right? We're not gonna organize you too much. So in other words, have fun with this. For those of you who are like, this is way too chaotic, I apologize. But it's a little bit of a fun tradition. Well, it's not fun. But, and then after we get a few photos, we will go ahead and we'll meet outside and we'll enjoy some food, because that's what all families do, right? We all hang out and tell stories and celebrate. So before we have the mass move of chairs, I want to say we are all so proud of you, right? You are doing such a great job. As Shannon mentioned, and has been mentioned before, you have overcome so much, and you still have a little bit to go, but I'm so happy that we all get to do this together, right? So congratulations to the class of 2024.